And right now we are getting in a couple stunning updates on the coronavirus outbreak. The first coming from Tom Hanks. Take a look at this tweet sent out by the actor announcing that he and his wife Rita have tested positive for coronavirus. They are down in Australia. They say they were feeling symptoms. They got tested and they came back positive. They're asking, so what do we do next? Well, medical officials have protocols they are now following. They're going to be observed and isolated for as long as public health and safety requires. And if you are just joining us, a crane has fallen onto Mercer Street near the South Lake Union neighborhood. Again, we are still waiting on details from investigators, but we know that crane has fallen onto several cars. We are waiting for updates on injuries, but just a devastating scene there in the South Lake Union neighborhood of Seattle. And there are a couple buildings down there that have been under construction for quite some time now. They are owned by Vulcan, and they are expected to be Google buildings. Again, in that neighborhood known for Amazon, Google was going to be opening a couple large buildings that were going to be filled with potentially thousands of employees. And it appears that one of those buildings is where that crane actually toppled off of. The tragic news that 4 people are dead. That has just been confirmed by the fire department. And we now know that 6 cars were also involved. They were crushed by that collapsed section of the crane. We did hear from an assistant chief from the fire department who said they're going to be assisting with this investigation. They also have chaplains who they are going to have ready to go for victims. Tonight, the woman he robbed is in the hospital, and that gunman is still on the run after he grabbed that purse here on Northwest Market Street, fired a bullet into the ground, breaking those windows, and then took off in an SUV as police tried to catch him. Tonight, Seattle police are searching for this armed robber who sparked a chaotic scene by snatching a purse. Stunning surveillance video shows a Good Samaritan prying the purse from the robber, who quickly comes back with a gun. He fired a bullet into the ground, breaking 2 windows at this nail salon owned by Tuan Vo.
And I heard a gunshot, and I still stay inside, And after that, I see many people, run, follow him.
Video shows the thief take off as the woman he robbed chases. They ran into this alley where he hopped in an SUV and pulled out as the woman and that Good Samaritan tried to stop him.
Because they were holding on to the door of the car trying to get the guy out.
Joe Garatone was driving by.
The man that was trying to help the lady got thrown out first, and then the woman got thrown out and thrown across the street.
Just heard the commotion.
Dan Farmery ran to help the injured woman until these medics arrived.
Seemed like she was definitely in a lot of pain, and then upon getting closer, I could see that her ankle was broken.
My first thought was to try to keep up with the car, and so I followed it for a while until I lost it.
The robber led police on a daring chase down State Route 99, ultimately outrunning the officers and disappearing near the stadiums.
Scary, scary.
His bold actions leaving Ballard stunned.
This is Ballard, and these things don't normally happen around here.
To some, the silver lining is the remarkable bravery of the man who jumped in to help.
I would hope that I would have enough guts to do something to help somebody in need. And again, tonight, that gunman is still out there. Seattle police tell me at this point they don't know who he is. Eric? That's right, Eric. The State Department of Health just started testing for the coronavirus here at their Shoreline lab yesterday. Now they're going to be doing it 7 days a week. So far, they've only run a few dozen tests, but they're preparing for hundreds each day. An urgent effort to test Washingtonians. The Department of Health now plans to test 200 specimens per day for coronavirus.
Now that we can test for COVID-19 at our state public health laboratory in Shoreline, we're able to get the test results back much faster.
The CDC just widened their testing criteria. They were focused on people who traveled or came in contact with someone who tested positive. Now they're also looking at patients with severe symptoms and no explanation.
And as we test more, we'll probably identify more cases.
In just a day, public health tested 41 people and 6 came back positive for coronavirus, including the man who died. Do you believe this virus has been in our area for quite some time?
You know, now that we're seeing several confirmed cases pop up, particularly that are not related to travel, I do think it's probably been here. It's hard to know how long, but probably on the order of weeks.
Dr. Seth Cohen is an infectious disease physician with UW.
Is it possible there have been other deaths and we just don't realize it was coronavirus?
It's certainly possible.
Dr. Cohen expects the disease to spread here, but says those with symptoms shouldn't just show up at a hospital or clinic.
If you have symptoms, call your doctor's office, call your ambulatory care clinic, or call the emergency department if you really think you need that level of care. Otherwise, we really encourage people to stay home and self-isolate themselves if possible.
And UW researchers just finished their own coronavirus test. Now that's just awaiting FDA approval. If they get that in the next couple weeks, they're hoping they'll be able to test many more people. Michelle?